to Tuesday morning. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Chris. Great segment. You talk all about the money, and we're going to change it up just a bit because I'm that health and wellness person. I am Tina, and a lot of people like to call me Stars Tina for various reasons. One, I always say because I love the stars, right? When you reach for the moon, if you fall, you're still amongst the stars. And health and wellness. Hold on a hot second, guys. I got take out my Invisalign. I recently got Invisalign, and it's challenging to talk with them. But anyway, I am a life and health coach, and fitness is my passion. I absolutely love fishing. I absolutely love fitness. It's the core to who I am, and I'm so excited. As I mentioned, this is going to be my new slot once a month. I'm so excited. So the first Tuesday of every month at 8 a.m., I am here, and I just want to give Marilyn a great big shout out for just keeping this clubhouse room Breakfast with Champions rocking and rolling. We've been doing this thing since 2020. Started with Glenn Lundy, rolled over to Ramon, now the wonderful, the beautiful, amazing Mary Lynn. And yeah, so I'm going to be here Tuesdays at 8 a.m. And before we jump into the topic, I just want to say hello to everyone, get to know who you are. You can get to know who I am just a bit. So as I mentioned, life and health coach, I remember years ago when I first heard that, it's like, what is that? I thought of like coaches, like a football coach or a baseball coach. But in life, we all need support with this, right? And as I mentioned, health and wellness is my main jam. And I realized why and how it became my thing was because I don't remember the year, but my father passed away at the age of 49. Now, that's kind of young, right? And I actually had a little argument with someone a couple of weeks ago because everyone has their own opinion, right? And there's certain times of the year, certain days of the year where you got to be real careful with what you say to me because I'm a Scorpio. And I know we don't believe, some people don't believe in the signs, but sometimes that scorpion can just like eek, come at you. And by the way, if you want to get a behind the scenes, I'm actually live now on Instagram. So hello to all my Instagram peeps over there. And I also decided to stream on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Why am I doing this? Because I feel there's so many people in the world that need to learn about Breakfast with Champions, and I want to let you all know. So, as I was saying, Breakfast with Champions is actually where I realized why health and wellness is my passion. And as I mentioned, my father passed away at the age of, I was saying an argument I got with someone. So recently, my favorite uncle, Uncle Frankie in Bermuda, he passed away at 67 or 68. And I was talking to this woman, and I'm guessing she was in her 60s, 67, 68, I don't know. And I was telling her how I had to go away for the funeral. And she said, how old was he? And I said 67. And she says, oh, that's young. And I was like, no, that's not young. And she's like, yeah, that's young. I'm da da da. She's attacking me. But she made the mistake of not realizing she was attacking me on August 4th, which is my son's birthday. So I was already a little emotional. And for those of you that don't know, traumedy is my jam. Traumedy is the thing that I zero in on. That's my thing. Traumedy is a word that I trademark, and it's when the energies of a trauma and a tragedy collide. When this happens, life-changing experiences occur. And God has gifted me with the ability to push through traumedies, to learn how to deal with them. And I teach women how to do that. So she was attacking me on August 4th, the day that was my son's birthday. And he was murdered almost 10 years ago. So I was a little spicy that day. So when she said this, I was like, well, you may think 67 is young, but my father passed away at 49 and my son was murdered at 21 years old. So 67 is not young. It is young. It isn't young. It just depends on who you are, right? So today we're going to be talking about a fulfilled life. And if you saw the video I made yesterday, it was dedicated just to my Breakfast with Champions family. And if you didn't do it, I want you to go to my YouTube channel and subscribe because I always have great videos, and this is going to be there as well. But a fulfilled life, I want to get input from all of you here. Okay, I went to the car for my glasses. All right, here we go. I want to say good morning to some peeps first. I see you, Benjamin. I see you, Hanari, Babira, Jessica, Curry, and I see you with a red ticket. And the red ticket means you haven't joined our family yet. So join our family. Elizabeth, I love your photo, Mamacita. Camelia, Edwin, Sebastian. I see the screen moving all around. Sarah, Messia, Amanda, MC, Laura, Elizabeth. I said you. Michael, Bruno, Minister. We're packed in here today. Austin, Dr. ACT, Dana. Do me a favor. Put a star in the chat if this is your first time hearing my voice. I'm still saying my good mornings. I see Hassan. I see Calvin. I see Jessica. And if I'm botching up your name, please forgive me. Just Shahira, Carla, Bo, Tony, great picture, Tony. Migdalia, look at that smile on you, girlfriend. Dominica, Doctor, 4 a.m. Does that mean you're up at 4 a.m. in the morning? I see Leslie, I see Shanika, I see Norman, I see Tara, I see Melanie. Edith is on the phone, but we see you, Edith. Health the Wells, unmike Health Wells. How you doing, mama? In my mind, I text you and called you. How you doing, girlfriend? She's probably driving. I love that girl right there. Aren't there some people in your life that just give you energy? And she is one of them with her. Woo! Ric Flair. Is it Ric Flair? I don't know. One of those wrestlers. Anyway, of course, I see my girl Renee. I see Bella Bell. Bella, unmike, how you doing, mama? What's going on, Starstein? I'm driving to city, oh girl. Let's make it do what it do. Let's go. Yes, 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 yes. She's another one with the energy, with the fire. Let me tell you guys, fire, fire, booyaka, booyaka, bug, bug. Let's go. Bella has an amazing show as well. We love Bella. And I see Monica. Yes, big fan. That's from Health Wells. Monica, girl, did you get married yet? Congrats. You look so beautiful, girlfriend. Good morning, Monica. And of course, Mary Lynn and GA. All right, crew. I think I said all my good mornings. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's just read in the chat. Michael, as you start your week, God doesn't want us to give him our best effort. We don't try our hardest and then turn to God. We turn to God and trust him to do the work for us and in us. Michael, if you're still in the room, I absolutely love that. All righty. All righty. So as I mentioned, we're going to turn from money talk over to health and wellness, but I want to hear from you guys. Unmic and share with me, what does a fulfilled life look like for you? For some people, they go to work, they come home, they crack open a beer, and they just watch TV. Some people, they want to go run their business, they want to go on vacation. Talk to me, unmic, and share your thoughts. What does a fulfilled life look like to you? I would love to hear. Who wants to go first? I see Justin in the building.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm good. Good. I just walked in as you were posing a question, but if you want to repeat it, I'm happy to answer.
Yes, yes. And do you have a segment on here again?
No, I just pop in from time to time.
Shucks, I got a little excited. Guys, Justin has an amazing platform. The question was what, and this is a great question for you, because if you guys don't know, he's in Canada. He has an amazing real estate firm, and we're talking about having a fulfilled life, right? Because depending on what it is that you want, you're going to work and run your life a certain sort of way. So I would love to know, what does a fulfilled life look like to you?
Well, I've got it written down.
Ooh.
On a note that I read every single morning. So It means a creed that I stand by, which is I tell the truth, I control my emotions, and I lead by example. I design the life I want, and I build the business to support the life. The vision is to lead a faith-filled, family-driven, impact-centered life rooted in purpose and clarity, and build a future where every decision and design supports who we're called to be as individuals, family, and as leaders. I can go on and on, but it's really, you make money with the work that you do through transactions, but you become wealthy through the relationships and the impact you have on people. So I guess that would be my main focus.
I love that. I love that. Can you share with everyone what you do, where you are, and how they can contact you? Because I'm one of your fans, by the way. I'm trying to, if you saw my setup, you'd laugh. Because I remember when you would do your setup with your Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. Yes. So I'm trying to do that right now. I've got my iPad, my computer, my cell phone. But tell us what you do and all your good stuff.
Yeah, your family. I love it. I own a brokerage with my amazing wife and a media company and soon to be a tech company in Southwestern Ontario, Canada. We have a team of 30 agents, and we do all asset classes of real estate, commercial, luxury, residential, farms, everything you could imagine, investing as well. And I am a speaker across North America. So that's humbly a little bit about me. I am where I am because of people like Stars Tina and other incredible people in my life that supported me over the years.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else want to share? I know Mary Lynn's on the phone. Bella, what does a fulfilled life look to you? Because you're a woman that's done a little bit of everything, which people look up to, right? If you're able to share, I'd love to hear.
You know what? Thank you so much, Faustina. As I'm driving down the city hall, some of you know I do work for the city of Atlanta. I'm on my fifth mayor. But for me, I love that question. I'm going to continue to contemplate because it's going to change. But for right now, Faustina, it's service. I mean, people say it, but I really live it, work it. I was born into a community service family, right? So since I was 7, I understand community. I understand the power of City Hall. I understand the power of all legislation, right? So it's community serving people because the law of reciprocity is real. You know me, Starstein. I don't get up on this stage. I don't come on Clubhouse acting like somebody that I'm not. I'm myself 100%. But for me, it's service to all mankind. That happens to be the motto to my sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Go, girl. You got me too hot to try. Back to you, Starstein. Great segment.
I love that. And what I like best about what you just said, Bella, a lot of people think the only way they can help and serve is by money, right? And it doesn't have to be by money. Your energy, if you didn't know, it fuels me, right? It keeps me going. Those days, especially in these clubhouse streets, when I'm just like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if such and such did this, because we tend to compare ourselves. But I just want to thank you for all the love and your energy that you always have, and anyone that's around you, they feel that energy, right? So thank you again for saying that service, and it can be with your voice. Thank you again. All righty. Anyone else want to share? We have time for one more person. And if you're in the listening lounge, I'm going to show you guys over here. This is what Clubhouse looks like. Because I was talking with people today. I was like, I'm about to go on Clubhouse. And they're like, what is that? What is that? Clubhouse it's an app. So if you're watching and you want to be a part of the conversation, go on your phone, download Clubhouse. And as you can see, we have 105 people in the room today. We are rocking and rolling. I see my mother's in the building. And again, it doesn't matter your age, right? All ages, especially when you're older, you want to figure out, what does a fulfilled life look like to you? Because sometimes you get older and it's like, my life is over. No, life gets great. I just think of the different decades of my life, how I changed, how I transformed, right? Now I'm really into this fifth floor life. I'm loving the fifth floor. Not all the time, the aches, the pains, but it's just like learning myself. If anyone else would love to share, what does a fulfilled life look like to them? I hear a mic. Go for it.
Starstina, what you doing?
How you doing? How you doing?
This is GA. I love you like a fat kid love cake and twice on Sunday. I would say that a fulfilled life for me is I'm really simple. I'm a Southern boy. I'm a country boy from the South. I don't do much of anything, but my biggest thing is I need to impact people on a daily basis. That's my drug of choice. I need somebody to come to me with a problem and me be able to share. And it does not have to be in my area of finance. I've been doing finance for a long time. You know that. I wrote benefits for children of Israel crossing the Red Sea. Doesn't have to be that. Somebody can come to me just for a simple question about how to start a business. What did I do? I need to impact that. I'm addicted to seeing the light bulb go off, and I don't care whether they're 99 or 9 months old. That's my deal. That's my air.
I love it. I love it. And today's lesson, oh my gosh, guys, it's coming straight from my book, No More Traumedy. The link is at the top if you want it. And we're talking today, if you're just coming in. Hi, Zoe, my cousin on Instagram. By the way, hello, Instagram. Today, we're talking about how to live a fulfilled life. And I believe the best way to do this is to have core values. Core values are who you are, what you believe in. Right. And I always say, think of it like your business. You are your business, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a daughter, a psychologist, doesn't matter how you show up. And I read something this morning, by the way, guys, I'm doing a challenge. Today is day 2. It's not challenging yet because it's just day 2, right? Where I go live every day for a few minutes at 7-Eleven. And today I read something. I was like, ooh, that's kind of good, Tina. It's from my book, but I want to read it to you guys who are here. Really quick. If you have the book, turn to chapter 2, page 31. If not, you can click the link at the top, or text 732-656-8973. Text the word E360 book, and I will send you a personalized book that's signed by me. And you will also get a traumedy kit. A traumedy kit are things that can help you get through your traumedy. A traumedy is when the energies of a trauma and a tragedy collide. Everyone goes through these things. They shake your world, they rock your world, and it's just like, what happened, right? And in this traumedy kit, there's things that are going to help you push through the pain so you can turn your pain into purpose, right? Your mess into a message. Things like journaling, things like motivational stones. You know, Bella told me she still has her stone. I'm like, because she was like one of the first people to purchase my books.
I have the dream and I look at it every day. It's the dream stone. I love it.
Yay, yay. I love it. I have to surround myself with these things all the time, right? Like if you see, I think I gave bracelets too to some people. I wear 7 bracelets every day. These are things that just help keep me grounded, right? So if you're just tuning in, we're talking about how to live a fulfilled life. We're talking about core values, and we're going to play an exercise game later on that's going to help all of you if you want to change your life so it's more uplifting. You have more confidence, right? You have more energy. Here we go. Chapter 2. Traumedy is something I believe can never be explained. My daughter constantly says the one thing we are promised is death, and we all are going to die. So many cliches in the world. God is not going to give you more than you can handle. Tough times don't last, tough people do. If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. I want to share with you my house. My house is me and my business, which are actually the same. The foundation of who I am are my core values. My core values are loyalty, hard work, faith, and high energy. If you're watching this and you currently have core values that you live by each and every day, do me a favor, type it in the chat. I want to hear from you. What are your core values? And a great speaker, Adam Smith. Oh my gosh, I love Adam's energy. He is the one who inspired me to really dig down into core values, because he said a lot of companies will have many, many core values. They don't even remember them. You only need like 2 or 3, 4 max, so that they are ingrained in who you are. So type in the chat wherever you are, if you're on YouTube, LinkedIn, what are your 4 core values? I will go over these in more detail later on in the book. Once you have a strong foundation, you need pillars, strong pillars, so that the house stands strong, because you are a house, right? You are a business. Mindset, heart set, nutrition, exercise, and resilience, otherwise known as traumedy, are the pillars of my house. The roof of this house is when you unite all these things together and you have a mind, body, and soul awakening. And this is what my house looks like if you're looking at the screen. And in the book, when you purchase it, there's a place for you to write your core values, to write your pillars and what your house is, right? So I'm going to check here and see, and if anyone wants to unmic and share, I would love to hear. Justin came through and he told us what a fulfilled life looks like for him. So if you want to unmic and share what your core values are, and I know some people are driving, they're on their way to work, Jessica says, this is really good question. Thank you for the life homework. Love all the energy. Thank you, Jessica. All right. I'm so good to see you today. All right. Anyone want to share their core values? Let me look over there. I'm going to look over here. And if not, we're going to move on with the conversation. So as I mentioned, core values are the main thing for today's conversation. Then we're going to do an exercise. But I wanted to share with you how I came up with my core values. The first one is loyalty, right? And loyalty is super simple to give, to get. Loyalty is who you are, what you stand for. It's your word, pretty much, right? And that is so important to me. I actually broke up with a guy once because I got sick and tired of him saying he was going to do something and never follow through, right? Follow through is so important. I know we all want to do the things, right? People say, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Show me, don't snow me, okay? I am that person. When I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Okay. Maybe I don't call back every time. When you say, okay, I'll call you back, but I'm going to call you back eventually, right? But loyalty is doing what you say you're going to do. And I think this drove really hard with me with raising my kids. And if you didn't know, I was a single mom of 2 kids, right? I didn't have any help. Child support was probably like $20 a month. What you gonna do with $20? Okay, ain't got no $20. What's that gonna do? And having 2 children, and my children did everything. I made sure my kids were in all sorts of activities. I didn't have a big, paycheck come every month. I hustled, right? So loyalty, I knew I couldn't give them everything. So I taught them. I said, your word. When you say you're going to do something, back it up. If you say, I'm going to wash the dishes, or can I borrow $20 and I'll give it back on Friday. Well, you give it back on Friday, hook or by crook, no excuses, right? Loyalty. Another thing when I think about loyalty, I think of consistency, right? Because if you're consistently doing the same thing, your body and your mind gets used to it. Goes back to the health and wellness, right? We talked about stretching this morning, and if you're constantly stretching, if you're constantly moving your body, it becomes a part of your DNA. It becomes a part of who you are. So when you wake up in the morning, your mind is like, hello, am I working out? What's going on? Right? So that's why it's very important to keep the loyalty into consistency with everything that you're doing. Right? So anyone agree, disagree, want to add their comments as we're talking about loyalty here? Honoring your body. So very important.
You know what, Stars? Mrs. G, I think the most important thing that has reigned supreme for me in the last decade that I've learned most deeply is about being loyal to myself before I can be loyal to anybody else.
Ooh.
That has dramatically changed my life, learning to be loyal to myself.
Okay, question.
Yes.
Has this always been easy for you? Like, or did you sometimes say stuff like, I'm going to make this post every day, or I'm going to whatever? Have you ever in the past not done this?
Oh gosh, I was a horrible liar to myself. Oh, I was trifling. I was trifling because I would say the thing that would make me feel good in the moment, but I didn't love myself enough to actually execute on what I needed to do to get the results that I wanted to get.
Let's stick right there for a hot second, right? Words are so powerful. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
How did you change this in your life? Saying something like, I know for me, I do fitness. I have an online fitness boutique studio. By the way, guys, this Sunday, I signed the lease for my own studio. I'm so excited. And I've been doing fitness for over a decade. And I see people come in, hi, mommy. I see people and they say, oh, I'm going to exercise. Oh, I'm going to drink my water. But then they just back it up. They don't back it up. What did you do to make this work for you? I want to hear. Well, two things that I did. First, I stopped making goals for myself that made me sound good and look good and started making goals for myself that I could actually keep. I got my self-esteem and my ego out of the way and actually got a real representation of who I am to myself and started making goals according to that. And before I did anything for anybody else, I did it for me first. And I just got honest with me. And that's what changed my words. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about core values and how they're related to your health and wellness. While I have you here on the mic, GA, do you have any core values for yourself that you live by each day? I would love to hear them. Oh, my core values, because I love my last name. My core values are pimp. That is my Lord. Are you serious? I'm corny. I'm sorry, I'm corny. So it's persistency for me is my first core value. Persistency. Because I may not be the smartest, the cutest, the tallest, or the best good looking, but you will die before. Okay, Will Smith. Okay, Will Smith. Yes, you will die before I will quit. The second one is integrity. That's the word that my mom gave me to work on, and I've been working on that for a decade. And my fourth one is the mission. My mission is really simple. My mission is to actually die empty and do everything that God has put to me to do while I'm on this earth. That's the mission. And the last one for me is probably my most important. Is prosperity, and it's not just money. It's prosperity in what I give people. It's prosperity emotionally, spiritually, mentally, psychologically, communally, and spiritually. That's prosperity for me. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. All right. So my second core value is hard work. Hard work equals discipline, right? And when we talk about movement and stretching, you want to do little things each day. And some people don't like the word hard work because it's not sexy. For me, it's sexy. All right. But if you don't like hard work, think of it as resilience. When you get knocked down, you get back up. And I think of it as like a scratch or a scar on your body, as over time, if you keep picking at it or whatever, it gets hard, and then it's got to get hard to come off, and then it gets better. I know that sounds crazy, but hard work is something. I think it's not hard for me because whatever I do, if it is hard work, I turn it into something fun. It's how you see certain things, right? I always say, for me, I have to reframe how things sound, how things feel, if I don't like it, right? So for example, I'm not gonna cry, guys, but I recently moved to Florida. I absolutely love Florida. I'm a Jersey girl. If you're from Jersey, let make some noise, put something in the chat. My Jersey peeps, let me see you. I'm a Jersey girl. And Jersey girls, we don't pump gas, right? Okay, the men don't pump gas either, but we don't pump gas. I'm not saying we're too good for that, but we don't pump gas, all right? But living here in Florida, we gotta pump gas, ladies. And I used to hate it, right? I would complain all the time. If I could tell you the stories of me and my pumping gas syndrome, first of all, it would take me like when I first moved here, I would get other people to do it. I would be that damsel in distress. Excuse me. I don't know how this works. Can you pump my gas? That worked for about a month. And then they were like, girl, we showed you last week how to pump your gas. So now I have to pump my gas. But I would love to share with you some of the stories that happened before then. So first of all, figuring out how to get the card to work, right? And then pressing the button, like I could not get it to come out. And then I can't tell you how many times I got gas on my foot. The other day, well, a couple weeks ago, it actually like I was taking the pump out of the car, and the gas went rolling down the side of the car. I'm like, oh my gosh, I guess I squeezed the button when I was pulling it out. And then another one, Renee helped me with this one. I was taking my time. I would make sure I shake it, like that before I got it out, and I'd pull it out, and then I'd put over, and gas would still come out on me. But she told me, this is a lesson for you ladies that have to pump your gas. You have to take it and you have to turn it around so the gas doesn't pump out. But what I did the other day, because I had to pump my gas. And I was actually on the phone with my mother. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I get to pump gas right now. And Steve Harvey said this, you have to change the way you see things in life, right? I get to pump gas, right? I'm so excited I get to pump gas because there was a time where I didn't have the money to put gas in my car. There was a time, okay, I've always had a car because you need a car living in Jersey. But there was a time when I didn't have such a nice car, right? So I had to reframe my thinking when it came to pumping of the gas. So now I absolutely love pumping the gas. And she said, put it in, press that button down so it flows on its own. And I just filled up the tank. Usually, don't judge me, okay? My patience used to be poquito. So I'd put like $3.45 and go so I could get to my next stop. But they say, fill it up, and then you don't have to go that often. So I filled it up, and I sat in the car, and I talked to my mom some more, and she's telling me all this stuff. I'm like, but it was great. I pumped my gas. So I reframed my thinking. So the hard work for me is not hard work. It's just that discipline. Anyone have thoughts, comments about hard work? If so, unmic, say your name, and share your comments.
Darcine, it's Bella.
Hey.
And hola, as TM would say to BWC. I'm on the vein of contemplating, and I always, every chance I get, Stars Tina, you know this about Bella, right? On this mic, and I say to everyone's conscious right now in here, what are you saying to yourself, right? When you are talking to yourself about yourself, because Stars Tina, my role, and I know whose I am, is to remind people in their consciousness, right? The most important conversation is the one you have with yourself. And I was unaware of this like 20 years ago, and I had some mindful people, right, with mindsets. I didn't even know what the word meant. Come on, Stars Tina. And when they start talking about, I'm like, what? Reverse engineering. We get sound bites on it, but I'm saying all that to say, I challenge people to spend time with themselves. Because, Stars Tina, we don't spend enough time with ourselves, right? And that's when the work for Bella, started coming into play. Because you got to really get to know who you are, right?
Yes.
Self-reflect on who. And if you don't know who you are, it's cool, figure it out. But own yourself. And that's why I always say, Stars Tina, you know me, be your own best friend, be your own cheerleader, although I'm on here cheerleading everybody else. The law of reciprocity is real. When you invest in somebody else, it will come back to you. Jeremiah 29:11. Girl, love you. I got to get in and get some work to say, y'all. I love you, Stars Tina.
We love Bella Bell. She dropped so many gems right there. Make some noise. Make some noise. Can I get some? Let me see if I can figure out, since you guys, I'm having a party in here. Where's the sound bite? Come on, make some noise for my bell. Wow. Wow. And so wow. I love how she said what you pour into, you're going to get so much out of it. And think about yourself. That's why I love living here in Florida, right? I can just go to the beach and just be with myself. Journaling, so important. We're coming up on 8:30, guys. It is time for a dance party. We need a dance check, all right? On mic, it's time for a dance party. What song do we want? What song do we want? I'm going to move the light back because we got to move our body just a little bit, GA, what song you want to hear? Talk to me. What song you want to hear? What song? Who is that? Is that Bon Jovi? Alexa, play Gap Band. Turn the volume all the way up. Alexa, turn the volume all the way up. Okay, I'm trying to get the... Is this the Gap Band? Alexa, stop. I need the name of a song, Mary Lynn. And what do you know?
Early in the morning.
Alexa, play Early in the Morning by the Gap Band.
Early in the Morning by the Gap Band from Spotify.
Here we go, Crow. Is this how it starts? Hey! Ha! Ha, here we go. Are you on camera? 2 up, 2 down, let's go. Here we go. Move your body. All right, time for the snake, Mary Lynn. Snake it out, let's go. Hey! Woo! Bring it back. Bring it back. Shake it. Shake it. Shake it. I don't see anyone dancing. You know you can move your emoji to dance. Okay, Bella. Ooh. We got 20 more seconds in this dance party. Ooh. Are there words to the song? Okay, Alexa, stop. All right, crew. Whew. Dance party over. I like that song. I may have to put it into rotation. Okay, GA, I see you. I see you. I see you. Woo! If you are just tuning in, join us. Join the conversation. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. You see, right? You see this space. Breakfast with Champions. My favorite morning show. I'm here once a month on Tuesdays at the first Tuesday of the month, 8 a.m. You can find me here, 8 to 9. The rest of the month, Monday, 5 a.m., the 2 middle weeks. But today we are talking about how to live a fulfilled life. If you've gone through a trauma, if you've gone through a tragedy, we all do, right? If you want the cliff notes and all the things, you can purchase my book, No More Traumedy. In this book, I share how I got through my biggest traumedy and some tools and skills and strategies of how to push through. So I'm going to go through my last 2 tips really quick because I have an exercise that's going to transform your life today. My last 2 core values for me are faith and high energy. I got a new Bible this weekend, guys. It's in the car, because I needed a car Bible. But this is my Bible right here. She's big. She actually weighs 5 pounds. And the reason why I know she weighs 5 pounds because I used to travel with her and she would make my luggage go over. So I had to, hi, Marquita! Look at my Jersey girl. I had to stop traveling with my 5-pound Bible because she would make my luggage go over. So someone got me another Bible. So I have a red one. So faith is part of my core values. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about the importance of core values when it comes to your health and wellness. I said my first one was loyalty. The second one is hard work, and then we were talking about faith and high energy. Those are my final two. Faith, knowing, as Bella said, who, not only who I am, but whose I am, and then high energy. I can hear the Spotify in the other room playing. Alexa, stop. God, Alexa's all over the place. But anyway, high energy are my core values. So the exercise we're going to do right now is something that's going to help you transform how you live your life so you can have a more fulfilled life. Now, if you have the book, I want you to go to page, it's called The Circle of Awakenings, right? And if you don't have this, you can write it down. And I can also email this to you. You just want to text to the phone number 732-656-8973, text E360. And we can send you this exercise we're about to do. If I can find a page, here we go. Okay, Circle of Awakening. So what this is right here, this is an exercise we're going to do that talks about the different areas of your life. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 different areas that we're going to talk about really quick. And I would love for you to participate if you can. If you can't, that's great. But each area, we're going to rate how we feel in our life on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 being horrible, you hate it, you can't stand it. And 5, it's the best that it can be. Keeping it super simple. 3, you're kind of in between. So we're going to go over each one. Now, if you have the book, you're going to put on the inside is a 1 and on the outside is a 5. And then like a 3 is in the center. You're going to put a little dot where you are in that area of your life. And then you're going to connect all the circles once we're finished. If you can't see what I'm doing, then it's okay. As I told you, I'm live on YouTube if you want to see it there. But we're going to go through each section because this is a section of how you are in your life. And we're going to start with faith. So if you're joining in this conversation on a scale of 1 to 5, where are you in your faith and spirituality? Right? 1, you're going to hell. It's like you know you do everything wrong. And then 5, the chorus is singing in heaven and you're going to heaven. Where are you on a scale of 1 to 5? I like to do this exercise every quarter. And as you know, this is the last the last month of the quarter. Q3. It's done, right? I love that. Mommy's participating on Instagram. And you might be a little embarrassed to share. I'm going to put 3.5 for me. That's where I am in regards to faith at this point in time. Favor said he's a 4. You like that? And I say 3.5 because I want to do so much more, right? Yes, we have our we have our prayer group that we have. I listen to my devotionals in the morning, but it can always be more, right? And another reason why Bella said 4. Another reason why I say I'm a 3.5 is because I need to, okay, guys, with these 4s, I got to level up, is I want to be that person that brings more people into Christ, back to the Lord, back to all that wonderful stuff. So faith is the first section. The next section that we're going to talk about is emotional intelligence. Dr. Dale is the leader of emotional intelligence. I've worked with her for a while. And emotional intelligence is how you show up in the world with your energy, with your attitude. I am a 4, but you don't have to be a Christian to be have your faith. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't believe in hell, so no worries. You know what I believe about hell, Marilyn? I think we're living hell right now. Sometimes I used to say like, this is hell where we are right now. So it's just like, but we're not talking politics. We're not talking religion because it is what it is. Everyone is welcome. But emotional intelligence is so important. So on a scale of 1 to 5, I'm doing good these days, guys, right? My emotional intelligence is leveling up. I'm knowing when to close my mouth, when not to say stuff. So I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to bump up my faith to a 4. Emotional intelligence is a 4. By the way, I'm going to give you guys some space. Anyone want to share their comments and thoughts about the topics we've talked about with faith and emotional intelligence? If so, on mic. If not, I'm going to the next topic. Okay, go for it. I hear a mic.
It's Bella. I just feel compelled. I'm not even going into work yet. I'm sitting in my car. Like you said, this is a great segment. Start saying, and it's not about whose religion is, right? It's just about the mindset, right? Everyone is at a different mindset. And which I know I'm speaking for myself and start saying, I'm right beside you with the book. They got to get the book, start saying, they got to get your book. But it's just like, I think Monica's coming up. I hope she is. But I'm slowing down to say this. We are all at wherever we are in our lives. And I'm just trying to encourage people, right? To pump your own brakes, stop, and breathe. Because 90% of the things we do, I promise, I didn't know to start saying it, it's conditioned, right? We've been programming. Half of the things we're doing, we don't even want to do it, let alone like doing it. So it's just taking the time, right? So this is so good. I'm going to be late for work, girl, messing with you. All right, I'm getting off this mic, man.
I love it. And I want to thank everyone that's joining in on the conversation, because just like whatever I do in life is not me, it's God coming through me. This segment here is because of GA, is because of Bella, is because of Marilyn. Anyone that's, adding to the conversation. I love it. I love it. Thank you. I want more. So we said faith, we said emotional intelligence. The next one is mindfulness and meditation. Where do you fall in your life on a scale of 1 to 5 when it comes to mindfulness and meditation? Whew, I could use a lot more meditation. But you know what? I'm going to add to this, guys? You can meditate while you're doing other things. For example, I say like a riding meditation. When I'm riding my bike and I'm listening to the music, sometimes I get into it. Maybe you're dancing, maybe you're walking, right? Walking meditation. Meditation is just pretty much not thinking about anything. I know it's very hard. And I remember years ago when my son was alive, my mother said 4.5. I love that. Let's hear your numbers of your meditation. I would always listen to motivational videos, Tony Robbins, Lisa Nichols, whoever, and I would send it to my kids every morning. And my son would say, Mom, you don't need this. You're motivated already. You need to slow down. You need meditation. And I was like, okay. So I laid on the end of the floor. I was like, okay, am I meditating? I really couldn't do it. And then I tried putting in videos when I was driving, because I had to drive an hour to work. I used to work in Princeton. Oh my gosh, I love Princeton. So I would listen to meditation. And one of the things it said is, protect when you're meditating, close your eyes and think of a stream of water with a log. You see the trees, I see the clouds and the sun, and the log is going down very gentle. And that just kind of helped me be still. So on a scale of 1 to 5, let me look in the chat here to see if anyone's joining in on the conversation. Where are you for meditation and mindfulness? I've heard time meditating because I have ADHD and can't focus or sit still. I hear you. Mindfulness 12. Is that a 1.2 or 12? Meditation 37, negative 37. GA, what are you talking about over there?
My mindfulness is on fleek. I know that's not a word. I'm old. My daughter told me not to use that word no more. But my mindfulness is on the 27. I mean, I have 37.
5 is the highest number. Hello, 5 is the highest.
But my meditation, wow. Yeah, I'm 100 miles an hour when I start my day. So yeah.
So are you saying you meditate a lot?
I actually am listening to things on a continuous basis to feed me, but such as me sitting down, and I used to do this, and just silence and just meditating, yeah, I'm not there. Either I'm reading or something of that nature.
Okay. There is a great, I'm sure if you're not, Deepak Chopra has an amazing, I think it's 21-day meditation challenge. He has 2 different ones during COVID. Him and Oprah did a meditation challenge together. I think it's 21-day challenge for wealth. I don't know, but it's amazing. If you need help with meditation, start there, because like you said, it's easier when you're listening to something to get through with it. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about the circle of awakening and how it plays a part in your life. So we said faith, emotional intelligence, mindfulness, and meditation. The next one is education and training. On a scale of 1 to 5, where are you in regards to education and training, right? And this goes right back to your vision boards, to your goals. And I don't know if you guys do vision boards or anything like that. I live by vision boards and goal setting. So on a scale of 1 to 5, where are you in regards to education and training? The next topic is mindset, and Bella gets a 10.2 even though the highest number is 5 when it comes to mindset. Because what you put into your mind is what you're going to get out of it. If you're wondering why you're so negative all the time, or why you have nothing positive to say, or why it's like, well, it's probably because of the people that you're surrounding yourself and what you're putting into your mind. Yes, it's great to read the Bible. It's #1 best-selling book in the world. But we need more. We need more people, right? If you want to be in a certain area of your life, whether it's finances, relationships, community, you have to follow people that are doing what you want. That's why I love this community so much. That's why I started my podcast, because of Mary Lynn. She had a podcast. Hey girl, how'd you do it? That's how I wrote my book, because my coach was like, write a book, and everyone in here had a book, right? That's why I started my coaching program, because I saw the people around me doing, like, hey, that person's doing it, I can do it. We all have a special gift and talent. So what are you doing for your mindset? Everything is created right here in our heads. All right, let's go to the next one. Resilience. On a scale of 1 to 5, resilience is a fancy way of saying hard work. And yes, you might be able to get through the hard work and the resilience, but are you getting through it gracefully? And when I say gracefully, I mean, are you complaining all the time? I am so proud of my mother. She used to have road rage so bad. I'm like, girl, did you know the person in the other car cannot hear you? They don't care. So why are you screaming and hooting and hollering and all that good stuff? Give yourself some extra time, right? Like today, there were so many things I had to do today. I'm supposed to be to the dentist at 2:00. And at first, the crazy old mind Tina was like, okay, T, you can go early to the gym and then do your 7:00 show in the car and do BWC in the car. I was like, no, I don't want to rush. I want to give you 150% of my energy, of my excitement, because I know how I am able to transform lives. So we're talking about resilience. Are you able to be resilient through the hard times of your life and push through those pains with grace and pleasure? If you're not, you know what I'm gonna say, right? You know what I'm gonna say. Text 732-656-8973. Text the words E360 and purchase my book. All right, I want to hear from you guys. We just talked about education, training. We talked about mindset and resilience. Anyone want to share their thoughts and comments on that? If so, unmic. Hi, Favor. Good to see you.
Well, this is Bella, CEO. I might as well make it good late, since I'm almost late because of Stars Tina. Let me go in there and tell Mayor Dickens I'm late because of Stars Tina. And he'll look at me.
Tell him I said hello. I've never.
Well, with Stars Tina, this is so good. I want to say 2 things, because, we're teacher trainers. We're all teachers and trainers, BWC. I wanted to address, if you don't mind, Stars Tina, I'm always about interacting with Alicia, you're right. Alicia was saying when we're talking about the whole meditation thing, you're 0, right, Alicia? And then you said, don't meditate and when I can't focus. Well, guess what, Alicia? I'm here to tell you the real deal. It took me 5 years. Drop the mic. And what I mean by that, it wasn't an overnight thing, Alicia, because I'm here to tell the whole truth. It ain't no pie in the sky. It takes time, because I was the same way, Alicia. I'm telling you, Starcina, when my coach, I cannot name her name because she wants to be nameless, was telling me, right, Starcina? She said, can you sit still for 15 minutes? Here I go, yeah, I can do it. I sit still for 5 minutes in silence. So, Alicia, I'm encouraging you, girl, because Bella's the real deal. What are you saying to yourself? When you're talking to yourself about yourself, it takes time, Alicia, because we're in a world full of noise. And I mean, my coach coached me for 5 years to get to where I'm at. So, Alicia, keep the faith, girl. You can do it. You can do it. Because here, I'm gonna drop my most famous quote. You know what it is, Starcina? It's with Henry Ford. I live off of quotes. If you think you can and can't, you are right. Drop this mic. Let me get in here 15 minutes late. I'm gonna be 20 minutes late when you start saying it.
I love it. I love it. She's amazing. It's so true, guys. We are always constantly going, and you're talking to the queen of go, right? The queen. The Gap Band is still playing in the background, guys. I can hear it. You can't hear it. As I mentioned earlier, if you didn't know, 10 years ago, my son was murdered, tragically murdered. He was 21 years old. My life was it wasn't perfect, but my life was great. And that shocked my world. And after it happened, I did bounce back, because I made a decision. I wasn't going to sit in misery. I wasn't going to sit in pain. I was going to push through that pain. But what I did, guys, was I was going. I scheduled everything. I barely had 5 minutes of free time. If I had one class, I was teaching the drive to the next class. It was right. Everything was back to back, back to back, back to back. And that's why I actually started taking yoga. And then I decided I wanted to do my 200 hours because it forced me to be still. When I was doing my yoga teacher training, it's something called Shavasana. That's the very end of the practice when you're doing the class. And all you do is lay still. That's it. That was the hardest thing for me to do. And I would just leave the class. Like I'd do the whole class and then I'd go. And I remember one day the teacher came up to me and she said, Tina, you cannot leave at the end. First of all, you're doing yoga teacher training and everyone's looking at you because I was in training. But you have to stay there to feel it. And the other day I did a in-person class for a couple of ladies. And we were at the end where it came to the Shavasana, where it was to be still. And one of the ladies started crying because like Bella said, when you're still, when you quiet the mind, you open up your ears so you can hear what God is saying. You're letting in the power that you have. So today, as we talk about this circle of awakening, it's going to awaken your mind, your body, your soul, and it goes with being still. If you're just tuning in, we're doing a test in my book, not a test, an exercise in my book from No More Traumedy. It's the circle of awakening. And we have a couple more to do. Social, that's the next section. On a scale of 1 to 5, where are you with your social skills? And when I say social skills, community, doing different things. I recently moved to Florida, but before I came here, I was like, girl, you got to get it together, because when I left Jersey, I'm a Jersey girl. I love Jersey. I went to Texas. It was during COVID, so you really couldn't do much during COVID. I just kind of went to COVID. I just kind of went to Texas without a plan. It was just like, okay. I mean, the plan was to work on my marriage. That was the plan. That didn't work. But that was my main focus, because I'm that person. I need something to focus on. I need something to do. So that was my plan when I went to Texas. That failed. Then I had the great opportunity to move to North Carolina and teach at a place called Cycle Bar and manage and all the great things. But again, I had a focus to work with the studio. That was it. It wasn't about me. It was about the studio. So I ended up going back to Texas. And I said, okay, T, it's time. Alexa, stop! Oh my gosh, it's so loud in there, guys. And it still didn't stop. Anyway, when I was in Texas, I was like, okay, T, you're on the 5th floor of life. What do you want for yourself? My son is gone. My daughter lives in California. You know, she's living her life. I'm here. I'm single now. What am I going to do? Has anyone ever been in that spot in their life where it's like, okay, I'm here. What do I do? Time goes fast, right? So I was like, okay, I hate the cold. I totally hate the cold. And being in Texas kind of spoiled me. North Carolina, in my opinion, has the best weather. It spoiled me too. But I said, you know what? Florida. So I kind of like went to different places. I looked and I was like, boom, Tampa. I'm going there, right? So I decided to come to Tampa. But before I came, I had a plan for me to live a fulfilled life, to live an abundant life. First of all, I had to find a gym, right? Gyms, that's my movement is my medicine. Exercise is my energy. I needed that. So I had to find a gym. All right. And EOS is the best gym out here, by the way. I'm going to be teaching there soon. I got a meeting today to make my schedule for my classes. I'll be so excited. Okay. So I had to find a gym. Next, I had to find a church, right? Church is so important to me because I was living it up. I was loving the virtual life, Transformation Church. What's the other one with Pastor Furtick? I forget his name, but I was like that. Even Joel Olsen, like I was that virtual girl on Sunday. I was like, I was that Bible thumper on Sunday. But I wanted that in-person community, right? So I had to find a church, running club. I did find a running club. They're kind of far, but they're great. They're iPoppy Chulo Elevation. Thank you, Renee. I had to find a church. Also Toastmasters. I wanted to find a Toastmasters. So my point is, what are we talking about? We're talking about social and community. Where are you in your social? And I don't see any numbers here, guys. Where are your numbers? So I'm going to say I'm about a 4.7 when it comes to social, all right? Because I could use a little more social together. And something else I wanted to say too, guys. We are growing. We are at 168 people in the clubhouse room. I'm loving it, but I need your help. Every person that's in here, I need you to share out this room, right? Because we're going to wrap everything up in a bit. And I want so many people to hear this. We started this room with 102 people. We are currently at 172. So let's just take 20 seconds right now. I mean, we could do another dance party. I like that. Mary Lynn, is she in here? She's not. I think we need Alexa, play Early Morning, the Gap Band, because I was kind of liking that, Alexa.
Early in the Morning by the Gap Band from Spotify.
So this is our chance, guys. Okay, we're at 173 people. Can we all share it out? Dance party time. We only have 30 seconds. 2 up, 2 down. Are you ready? Let's go. Here we go. 2 up, 2 down. Now give me the snake. Snake it out. Snake it out. Bring it back. Hey. Now get up. All right, Alexa, stop. We don't have that much time, guys. We got like 5 more minutes. I want to hear from you. Okay. I said social. Where are you on a scale of 1 to 5 when it says, I made Alexa go off at her house. I love it. I love it. I love it. Ah, that's going to be the song today. So get up. I'm going to play that and spin this week. How does Mary Lynn know the Gap Band? I don't know. Renee, do you know the Gap Band? Renee can't talk. I mean, I remember the Gap Band back in the day. Mommy, do you remember the Gap? My parents used to have a record store back in the day, guys. So when I was a little girl, Nate the Skate. If you're from Patterson, New Jersey, my father owned that. Oh, geez, gotta go. Get to the point, Tina. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. The last point here in the circle of awakenings is physical health. On a scale of 1 to 5, where are you in your physical health? Now, I'm really tough on myself, guys. I'm so tough on myself. So I'm going to say I'm a 3.7, all right, in regards to my physical health. Shanika said a 1, Manny said a 2. Okay, Shanika, girl, join. Shanika, I want to invite you to our community, guys. We have a 21-day challenge starting on Monday. At the top, I know we have the book link at the top. Renee, if you're able to, can you replace that book link? Because we do want you to purchase the book today. It is all about the book. But if you go to my Instagram, it has all the wonderful things that we're doing. And we're doing a 21-day challenge starting on Monday. We've been doing these for about 6 months now, and everybody gets results. If it's eliminating fat, having more confidence, feeling more sexy, all the things. And if you're in Tampa, July 13th, I'm doing my first in-person event. It's a workshop. And this workshop is how to get consistent in your health and wellness goals when you're a woman over 40. All right, let's wrap up what we talked about today, and then I want to hear from you. If you're just tuning in, I am Tina, your life and health coach, that person that's going to take you from good to great to amazing. I currently have my own studio in Tampa, Lord Jesus. I was going to say Tampa, New Jersey, Tampa, Florida, that I just signed a lease on Sunday. So I'm super excited. So I'm able to do in-person stuff. But today we're talking about the circle of awakening, because we started with our core values. Because who you are is based on your core values. We kind of worked together on what they were. I mentioned my core values were loyalty, hard work, faith, and high energy. Those are mine. Then we talked about the pillars in your life. You have to have things that you stand for. And mine is nutrition, mindset, heart set, mindset. And then you have the very top, which is mind, body, and soul awakening. This is my personal house. We all have these core values. And we just finished with the Circle of Awakenings. Circle of Awakenings is an exercise I like to do every quarter to kind of see where I am in my life. And in this circle here, on the inside, you put a 1, on the outside is a 5, and you gauge where you are in your life when it comes to those. We're moving up, guys. We're at 189 people in the clubhouse room. Can we get 10 more? Can we get 11 more? I mean, I can't do it at the same. Mommy, can you just share this link out? Renee, can you share this link out? Let's go. Okay. So this exercise here, you can do it on your own. And again, you can text 732-656-8973. Text the words E360 if you want to get this book. And you can get in the book, you're going to get the book. Also, a Traumedy kit that I have. And in this Traumedy kit are things that you can use to help you in your Traumedy journey. So today we did this exercise as a group, and each of us rated ourselves on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 being it's horrible, you need a lot of work. 5, you're winning. And the different areas are emotional intelligence, mindfulness and meditation, education and training, mindset, resilience, social, physical health, and faith. Those are the different areas that we focused on. And then you kind of put a number 1 to 5, put a circle there, and then you're going to connect the circles. And then next quarter, you're going to do it again, and you're going to see where you are. So now I like to compare where I was 6 months ago, a year ago. And if you're not where you want to be in your faith, in your finances, in your community, well, then get the work done, right? I'm going to leave some space right here. On mic, we're getting there, guys. We're at 191. Can we get to 200? Can we get to Facebook, do me a favor. Get over here on Clubhouse. All right, on mic, say your name. What came up for you in today's conversation? I would love to hear.
What's up, Star Tina? I want to say this is Bella PWC. This was a great segment. I'm not that best on my health, you know that. So I want to hear more offline or put it in the chat about. You said July, you're gonna do a live training in Florida, 2026. Did I hear you say?
No. This month, the 13th.
No, I saw that. You know, I'm already ahead of myself. I already clicked on your link. I'm not talking about your virtual. Did you not just say you're doing something live in Florida? Maybe I heard you.
I love this girl. She's rubbing off on me. I don't know if this is true, but this is what I heard. Yes, Bella Bell.
Well, we're going to talk about it in a minute because really, you know, I tell her truth, tell the truth, tell the truth. I'm like, God, so I think I got to work on that health thing. And maybe if I can get on over there next year, I'm just saying, I want to take the mic to somebody else. You know, I might do better. But anyway, for me, this was an awesome segment. Just reminded me, we all need to work, right? No shame. We all need to work on ourselves. Back to you. Love you, girl.
Yes, Bella, I'm going to tap into this health and wellness even deeper because I told you my uncle passed away a couple of weeks ago. I think he was like 67. And July, remember I told you I was supposed to go back to Georgia in July. He ran the Peachtree 4th of July race. He did a great job, like his best time. He came back from came back from Georgia to Bermuda, had some dinging in his head. Long story short, he had a stroke and died a few days later. So much, August was a tough month for me, but you can look on the outside. Oh, you look good, you look fine, but it's heart disease, guys. Heart disease is the leading cause of death in America. So take care of your health. If you need some support, if you need some guidance, my team, not just me, my team is here for you. And it's not just me teaching classes. If you're a senior, my mom is teaching classes. Miss Hattie is doing the damn thing, guys. She is on fire. All righty. As we come to a close today, I'm so grateful. Marilyn, thank you for this time slot. I got to run to the dentist and to my next class. I don't know how to make it happen, but I'll make it do what it do. As I mentioned today, I read some excerpts from my book, No More Traumedy. You can purchase that by going to texting 732-656-8973, the word E360. Thank you, everyone over there on Instagram. Thank you, everyone on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. I'm throwing the mic up in the air. Peace and a bottle of hair grease. Bye. See ya.